Hi, I'm Jennifer Cabic, and I am on the 2014 ICE Resin Creative Design Team, and today I am going to show you how to make a faux druze. Right here I have a real druze that I'm going to use as my mold, and it's really nice because it fits inside this hobnail round bezel. So what I could do is I can make different color druzes. What I'm going to first do is use the molding putty, and I'm going to take an equal amount of each one. And I am going to mix it together, and when I mix it together I'm going to make sure that the white is completely mixed in with the yellow, and you have a couple minutes to do this. So I'm just going to keep working it and working it. And you don't want to work too slow because it does start to set up after a few minutes. Okay, and then once it is mixed, I'm going to roll it up in a ball, set it down a little bit flat. Now you could make this either way. You could do it so the druze's face down and you'll get the texture, or you could do it so the druze's face up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it so the druze is face down. I'm going to put it in the mold material and push it down, and I'm just going to make sure that the mold material is snug up against that. So that's going to cure in about 10 minutes. It's kind of sticky. So I already have one of the molds created. And what I'm going to do next is pour in, because this I did it face down in this, I'm going to mix up some resin, a 2-part resin, and I am going to pour just a little bit in, and then I am going to use either mixture of different color glitters and mica. For this one I am going to use some of the glass glitter. So what I want to do is take my pouring cup. I'm going to take part A, and I always have it mixed in, I mix it by drams, and I always do a minimum of 2 drams of part A, and then I'm going to mix the equal amount of part B, which is the hardener. And I will pour that in. I'm going to use a stir stick, just a craft stir stick, and I'm going to be careful when I mix it and not mix it too fast, because you don't want to incorporate a lot of air bubbles. On this one, since I put the druze, I made the mold and I put the druze face down, I'm going to put in my glitter first before I pour any resin. And I'm going to use the green for spring. Finally, spring is here. I'm going to put quite a bit of that in there. Now I'm going to take my resin with my stir stick, and I'm just going to put a thin layer over the top of that. And then I'm going to let that cure. So when that is cured, I'm going to take and mix a little more resin. I'm going to do the 1 part A, which I will mix to 2 drams. And I will mix 1 part B, which is the hardener, another 2 grams. And again, I will take my stir stick. Now this, because as you could see, the bottom of the druzy has a color to it, so I want to replicate that with this resin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of acrylic paint to my resin. You don't want to add too much because you don't want to change the curing factor of it. You want to make sure it cures. I'm going to mix it up good. Now I'm going to take a little bit of acrylic paint, and I want to give it a grayish black effect, so I'm going to just put a little bit of gray in there. And I'm going to take a little bit of my black acrylic. And mix that up. I really like the effect, the swirl effect I start getting when I do this. I'm going to have to make something just with that swirled effect just because it's so pretty. And put that right over top. And I'm going to set that aside and let it cure. So here's one that I did with some glitter and some mica, and this was face down in the mold. Here's the back of it. And it has a nice little glitter to it. It's not as glittery as the original, but it has a nice texture because I did put it face down. And then here's one I did when I did the mold with the stone face up. And I'm going to pop that out of the mold, shake off the excess, and that really gives it a nice shiny druzy effect. So you could look at the difference between the two. Here's one face down in the mold. The resin kind of got mixed in with the glitter, so it's a little bit more dull. And here's one with the druzy face up in the mold with the glitter sitting on top, and you can see the brilliant effect it has. So your imagination can run wild, the possibilities of using that in your bezel. Thank you so much.